Hi, everybody. It's Paloma here, and I'm here with Nadia.
Hi.
Hi, Nadia. Would you like to share a little bit about where you are and about you? So before you do that, for those watching, I'm going to be just having a chat with Nadia. She's a client of mine, and she's had 20 soul-based coaching sessions with me over the past year and like 3 months. So lots of juicy things to share. Yeah. So Nadia.
Wow. I actually don't know where to start. We talked about where I started when I had the courage to reach out to you. Um, and I was so sad. It was not a life worth living. I was so depressed. I was crying on a daily basis. And to this point, I've already been in therapy for, I guess, 4 years. Because I knew I had an issue, something was not going well. But I believe after the first year, it didn't really give me that much more apart from, okay, I'm apparently emotionally sick and I need to be treated, but the treatment didn't really seem to work or to help. It just um, let me be in this situation and explaining to me um, on a mind level what's going on. Um, but yeah, it didn't do anything for me, and I actually believe it made things worse because at some point you start to wonder, well, I am already in therapy and it doesn't really help me, so there must be something seriously wrong with me. And then I discovered Teal's videos, I believe like 2 years ago. And at some point I was like, okay, I'm going to look for a practitioner. And that's what I've decided to do almost 1.5 years ago. And then we had our first session, and I remember I was crying so much, but it was also, oh my God, it was so beautiful because for the first time everything started to make sense. Um, and I felt so relieved, and I was like, yes, that's exactly it. That's what's going on for me. And there was room for my emotions, and it was okay that I had these feelings, and I didn't hear something like, okay, you have these feelings now, try to do something to not feel that way, which I was hearing the past for years. And since then, I've made such a huge development that I would have never seen back then. Um, I wake up with joy. I really do love my life. I've manifested a work that where I can be of service to others, and it's a lot of fun doing so. I earn enough money. I have enough free time to put more time in my passion, which is music. And I've just manifested to do my very first music video, and it's going to be published very soon. And all of this happened basically within an eye blink, you say it like that? So fast that I realized it was the internal work that happened, and me allowing myself to step up to the life that I was signed up for. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh goodness, I just love listening to you share. You know, it's been over a year, so you know there's I know you. I feel like you know I know you well, and I've um, you know guided these 20 sessions, and also these between sessions. You know, there's been conversations happening, and I've gotten to see that evolution as well. And yeah, thinking back to that first session and the way you were, because the thing is, when so much time passes, it can be easy to lose sight of the evolution that's happening. Kind of like you know, grass growing. Uh,
Yes.
you need a picture of how it used to be to remember. But now that you're talking about it, I do remember that first session and just the state that you were in, and compared to how you are now. And that's not to say that you don't have ups and downs today, but that there's a very different energy to you for sure. And for those who are curious, Nadia is in Germany, right? Yeah. And she's a singer, a songwriter as well, right?
Yes.
You hip hop, amazing. She sent me some of her songs, and they are so good. I love them, and I just encouraging you on your career, like your art career path, because there's gold there, really. Yeah.
Wow.
And Nadia, yeah, go ahead.
Please. We're so polite. No, you go first. No, you go first.
I just wanted to say that Nadia was mentioning that she discovered teal swan, and started to look for practitioners, because practitioners of her completion process that Teal developed. That's how you found me, through the completion process website. I am also a completion process certified practitioner. I believe our very first session was probably a completion process session.
Yes.
And I might have threw in some soul-based coaching because it complements it so well anyway. Um, but but yeah, after that, we've been doing pretty much purely the soul-based coaching ever since.
Yes.
Um, so I would love for you to talk more about that. But I just also want to let people who are watching know, you know, they might be like, what is that? So the completion process is a trauma healing modality. Um, and it does inform the fact that I've been um, trained as a completion process practitioner, does inform my work as a soul-based coach, because it's more than just about that process. It's the whole it's all of Teal's teachings that I've absorbed that are about emotional intelligence, emotional healing, the role that trauma plays in that, um, the very important role of validation. It's what Nadia was sharing, right? Like for the first time, it was like, oh, there's a room and space and permission for me to feel exactly as I feel, for all of my emotions, because even in therapy, that often is not the experience that is offered. It's very much like, how can we fix the problem, the depression, the anxiety, right? Like how can we change the mindset? And it misses that crucial step of the validation, which is what makes the healing really possible. Yeah, so I just wanted to offer that little background. And now I would just love for you to talk about the experience of the sessions themselves, because soul-based coaching is not well known, right? So maybe give people an idea of what it's like to experience soul-based coaching.
Okay. So I'm also this coaching. Um, where do I start? How do I explain? It's always interesting because I usually have some kind of topic that I would like to talk to you about. And yeah, I will mention the topic beforehand. And sometimes it's like two different things that apparently don't even go together. But in the end, somehow they're always related. So usually take time and come to a place of peace maybe even have some kind of little meditation. And then he would ask me about the images that would pop up in my mind regarding this topic. And I just love it because I am a very visual person, like probably the majority of the world. And images speak so much clearer what's going on in your subconscious. And by seeing those metaphorical pictures and putting words or using the words and describing them, I believe it's just magical to listen to yourself, um, how you explain the metaphors that are popping up in your mind, what is going on in your soul, in your subconscious, and you guiding me through this land of I don't know. I feel like we're on a journey, maybe having a city trip or a trip through the jungle, and you're my guide. And oh, okay, that's very interesting. Let's look there. Let's. I'm sorry. Um, and I would be like, oh, this flower, I've never seen it before. I would like to go there and have a look. And I'm like, sure. Let's have a look at this flower. What it speaks to you? What does it tell you? And yeah, it's like discovering the unfinished worlds of your soul and feeling safe by doing this. This is I'm speechless.
Mm. And what difference does that make for you to have the sessions go in this way, as opposed to how, for example, the way it was in therapy before?
There's so much difference because first of all, it's lighter. If that makes sense, because I if I wanted to, I could, but I'm not saying okay, this is the topic and this is the topic, and let's explain me what the chemical how do you say that what's going on with my body chemicals, why my brain doesn't produce this. So explaining it on a very intellectual, mind-based way, which doesn't really do anything for me because my emotions don't come from my mind. And the way I feel and experience things don't come from my mind. And that's with every person because we have more senses and more tools to maneuver around the world. And yeah, so I leave it like that. The difference is we actually talk about my authentic experience, and it's completely fine that I have these feelings. There's room for them. They are welcomed. They are actually listened to. Whew. And they're actually appreciated like something valuable. Whew. And that's one of the biggest differences. And working with my authentic selves, with all the different parts, I believe that's That's the difference. It's valuable and it's fine, and it doesn't have to go away. It's appreciated. You can get a chair and have the emotions sit with us, and not tell them the emotions of the different parts, that it's not okay and that it's stupid and that you have to get some, I don't know, we have to figure out a way how to get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, we often will ask, because this is a type of parts work, soul-based coaching, and parts work is something that's used in therapy and in healing, and it's normally done from an intellectual standpoint, where it's like, let me now try to channel this part, but it tends to often be very, very intellectual. Like, let me try to be in this part and then sit and be in this part. And the way we do it in soul-based coaching is we let those parts present themselves inside of this symbolic landscape that I help you ease into. It's not something you have to try to do. It just kind of happens, right? Like, thanks to the questions that I'm asking. So we kind of glide into a symbolic realm, and these parts present themselves as symbols. And we often ask the different symbols what they would like to have happen. Because what we're doing is we're looking at the health of the whole system, and that means all the parts have to feel good and be in a good place or happy by the end of the day, or else healing hasn't really happened. So that's why we often will finish a session with a feeling of satisfaction or like relief or just a general well-being. So yeah, it's like we're really letting each part have a say and not pushing anything in any direction. We're letting the system find out what, like you as an ecosystem of parts, like finding out what needs to happen for the whole system to feel better.
Yes.
Beautiful. I'm just curious what you would say the biggest change has been, like in like tangibly, or just in terms of your inner life, your inner world, your experience of life over these past months.
I feel like for the first time in my life ever that I'm connected to myself, that I'm connected to my intuition, that I've actually managed to be at peace, to I now hear my inner voice telling me, let's do this, let's go, and let's go for a city trip to Berlin, for example. And the majority, if not my whole being, supporting me and saying, yes, let's do that. Let's do that, let's have some fun, let's meet new people or see some beautiful culture. And when I remember how it was in the beginning, I could not even allow myself to sit on the couch and watch a movie, because it was so against my idea of what being good looks like. Wow. And then I was so stressed. I was so unhappy. My life quality was different. It was different. I didn't see the beauty of life. Life to me was working, paying bills, supporting other people. And
Machine land, right?
yes, exactly, the machine land. It was gray and cold, and the machine was also getting, it wasn't working well, which caused, sorry, which caused some kind of crisis, because if the machine cannot work, if that's the only purpose of its life, what shall she do then? What's the purpose? And the purpose was Nadia land, discovering a new land, which was very colorful and warm and yeah,
Quite
beautiful.
magical. If the way I remember is it was very magical, with the
Exactly.
bridge, with the colorful rainbow bridge crossing from Machine Land into Nadia Land, where this little version of you, very colorful, was waiting for you to join her. Yeah,
Exactly.
it was one of our very first sessions, and it was very beautiful. And I would love to know, where are you now? If we think back to that, and you even drew a picture of it, which was gorgeous as well. Like, where would you say you are now?
I'm definitely deep in Nadia land. Um,
Yay!
I'm discovering it right now. Um, I feel like wearing some kind of not sure if that's the right, like some kind of discovery clothes, like people who go on a safari, I guess, you know. Um, Very cliche, but I like that, with the uh, short cargo uh, trousers and the boots where you can, I don't know, climb and run and do everything with, and with a big sun hat and a backpack. And I feel like I'm now in Nadia land, and there are some beautiful big mountains, sun is shining. Now I can go and see what I like and what there is and where I would like to stay for a moment maybe, and then continue because I want to see everything.
Oh, lovely. And that reminds me of our last session with the jungle as well. It was a very similar feeling. You were flying through this jungle that was your garden, actually, because you became like a fairy.
Yes,
You were a fly and became more like a fairy, and we're flying around. Yeah, lots of adventure, a sense of adventure and playfulness. And I'm starting to realize that this is at the core also of my mission, my desire as a soul-based coach, is to connect people with that childlike wonder and adventure and play, the play instinct. Kind of recultivate that, because it gets so neglected and suppressed through childhood experiences and this machine-dominated world that we live in. I mean, we very much live in a machine land. So it's like, of course, we're going to internalize that. Gorgeous. And I'm just because I see you wearing now this pink. I think I remember one point you were mentioning the clothes that you were wearing and how you were wearing things you didn't like. Have you noticed a change in that at all?
yes, a very huge change actually, um, which also took place probably in the last couple of weeks and months, that I again take not take pride of it, but it's fun. It's important to me again, and it's that important to me that I wear something that I like and not what might be um, the the clothes that would fit the part that I was playing. And I really do love colorful clothes and sometimes sexy clothes and sometimes yeah, I don't know. I I feel good. I feel
Mm,
good with clothes, and they represent me.
beautiful, yeah, lovely. And you're also an artist. So part you like to paint, I think, right? And sing, of course. That's kind of your main artistic focus. In a in a few words, how has the coaching impacted your art or your career as an artist?
The coaching gave me the courage to like the room to open up this bottle. I feel like my art, my creativity is like in a bottle. You know, you've heard of the tale of Aladdin and the magic lamp when he rubs the bottle and then there's the gin coming out of it. A genie. And to me, it felt like the session was being a candle in the night and the match. So I put on the candle, put on the candle, and I went to this very dark and forgotten room in my house. And then I found this lamp, and then I wanted to see what's inside. So I had the courage, and the coach gave me the courage because usually the person would be very afraid of being in a room they've never seen before, or I've forgotten and everything's dark. And then all of this came out, and I would have never been here, I would have never realized a music video of my first song.
I need to stop making you talk because Nadia's just getting over a cold. I think your throat's like, okay, this is enough.
But I would have never came here because I was neglecting this, this part of me. Yeah, I feel like I don't have enough words to describe the magic and the impact that the sessions had on me, because art is not just, well, it's obviously one side of me, but it's such a huge side of me that I have neglected because I wanted to sustain in this machine world, and there was no room for art in this machine world, and I wanted to be successful, whatever that meant for me back in the days. And it's just crazy to realize now how unfair and bad I was to myself. And cutting off this part was a huge, extraordinary achievement because it's so much part of me that it took so much, I don't know, strength to do so and to let myself believe that it is the right thing to do so. Yeah, I hope I kind of could explain the feelings, and I guess it is obvious that it's huge for me. So it takes me some time to try to grasp it and explain.
And yes, and yeah, often words do seem to fail us when describing exactly the magic, and that's why we use the word magic, because it does feel magical often.
It does.
Because it can, you know, and it can be change and healing, positive development. Can be easy. That's what I've learned over these past 3 years of coaching.
Yeah.
And you're a beautiful example. And I'm really grateful to you that you're sharing this, so that people can just see you and see your smile and feel your gorgeous energy. Um, and yeah, watch out for Nadia, because she's going to hit the scene, the music scene. I'm pretty yeah, convinced of that. Beautiful songs. Alrighty, I'm going to let you go so that your throat can have a chance to recover. Thank you so much, Nadia.
Thank you.
And if anyone wants to, you know, has been watching and is curious and wants to find out more about soul-based coaching for yourself, then reach out. Also, probably it's fine to get in contact with Nadia to ask her, and you can reach out to me as well. We want to get your questions answered, so that you can know if this is right for you. Yeah, thank you, Nadia.
Thank you, Paloma.
Bye bye, everyone. Ciao.